Hello everyone, this is Half Full of Empty Mood Review. Yes, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another edition of the Half Full of Empty Mood Review series. I am your host, Report of Your Sleep. Thanks for checking in. Now, as always, I have a volunteer guest who will remain anonymous, but has also contributed their biometric data to be used to form some idea of their overall mood, their overall state of mind. And from this biometric data, I have subjected it to various quantum electrographical and high vibrational testing, and I've taken an image of their psychophysical, mental, emotional body and developed it into a simulacrum in this here sandwich. It remains unopened. As always, I go into this with no expectations, no judgment calls, with a completely blank tabula rasa state of mind. This is, after all, not quite the picture of someone's soul, but near enough, when we are so governed by our emotions. So let's see what we got here. Unboxing it, it's a very plain cardboard box. Underwhelming wrapping. Oh, great. Napkins. Why are there so many napkins? Addressing our volunteer, do you find yourself surrounded by beige, paper-like people? Is this in any way contributing to your overall mood? Being surrounded by endless napkin people? Because that is what this testing is showing. Let's get into the meat of things, why don't we? So, getting into the real sandwich here, opening up the box. What do we have? Oh God. Oh, this is a complete atrocity, to be honest with you. It is, it's the worst, one of the worst states I can already see. Let's take it out here. This is the thing in question. Maybe try for a thumbnail here. Yeah. This thing, we'll go through it piece by piece. I think this is turning less into a food review and more into an autopsy by the looks of it, but okay. Here you see, it's not so bad up top. We have a nice little pointer here. Just the bread itself isn't bad. It's an alright sandwich. It seems to be a nicely achieved golden brown crust with olives baked in, suggesting a giving kind of personality. Hardened, maybe a touch overdone. Yeah, just a touch overdone. But that's alright. It suggests that this person has a hardened exterior, that they like to cultivate a hardened exterior because they think it pleases people, because they surround themselves with people who are pleased by some air of authority, but also one that is giving, hence the olives that are embedded in the crust. In the crust here. Yeah. So, somewhat stern maybe on the outside, but also giving, kind of like a boss, an employer, who is also quite understanding, gives good bonuses, etc., etc., etc. Fine. But then, oh God, we parse the sandwich. Oof. We have, and it's very, very thin. You won't be able to see it at all. There is some degree of ketchup and some degree of mayo, but it is very, very thin. It is very, very poor, which indicates a very weak pulse. It's rather sad, to be honest with you. It's rather sad. This thin, watery lifeblood of the thing that's just falling into the bread. It's not really contributing any flavor. It's not really contributing anything worthwhile at all. It is only there for the sake of being there. So while we are trying to present good, steady, pure life energy up here, just scraping, only, you're talking tiny little millimeters behind the surface. It's a very, very different picture. Thin and watery and poor flavor. Disappointing. Very disappointing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There was some attempt, at least, for some synergy. This is garlic meal, to contrast with the vinegar acidity of the ketchup. But overall, this just isn't working. You're mismatched in yourself. There is a juxtaposition. No, there's a divergence here of personality that really, this little act that's going on up here really doesn't serve it very well. No. Anyway, moving through that disappointment, we're moving into the lettuce. I want to take a little sample here, just a little sample. Do we have anything to take a sample? I don't want to touch this. It is so horribly, horribly impure. Here we are. Yeah, these will do the job. Just a little. Trying delicately, 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 delicately to extract the lettuce. And on the sandwich, going to inspect it. Limp, rather dirty, suggesting it hasn't been washed at all. A poor performance in the lettuce department. Again, sad and limp, suggesting impotency, perhaps. Well, not sexually, of course, just impotency of ideas, of mood, a lack of energy, of vitality. The green is being sapped from this thing entirely. It is falling, it is decaying before my very eyes. It's not a good picture. You have some remnants of the ketchup on it that's doing nothing either. It's a sad, 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 sad picture. In life, this lettuce could have been a very great thing, but now it is just the poor organ of roadkill, as far as I'm concerned. God. I have to clean these now. Goodness. Disappointment. All in all, a terrible disappointment. Now, moving further down, do I dare, oh God. We have, as the very meat of the thing, the meatless tofu directly in the center, which is fine by itself. But is it really? Now you see here there has been a rather interesting attempt to smoke the tofu here. It's an interesting correlation with the exterior shell of the thing. You see, this correlates with our solar plexus, the real meat down here in the center of the sandwich. There is some degree of hardness here that you really are quite a confident person, but you're also sort of squidgy. You seek always to cultivate some degree of confidence. It is the overall goal, and yet you find yourself susceptible to emotional manipulation, to external factors that change your makeup. Tofu, of course, readily accepts any and all flavorings, and so rarely retains its shape unless properly dried. So, what we find is that you're on this quest of sorts. You're your own little hero of this god-awful catastrophe. There is some aspiration to be stronger, to be better, to be more in control of your destiny. This is let down, of course, by your weak constitution and by your rather mitigated life energy. But nevertheless, I think there is something that can be made of the attempt here. Something to be made of the attempt. That's not going in anywhere. That's going to sit to the side, far away. Well, to summarize the whole thing, it's really not so terrible. It's just, it's got a firm foundation. A nice, firm foundation, a solid intention to really bring up your confidence, to really seek out that which is benefiting you. But you've really got to have the meat for it. You've really got to have the right constitution for seeing your intention through. As it stands just now, you're just kind of a soft, squidgy, disappointing substance. Rather clay-like, to be honest. You need to firm you up nice and properly. And what's more, we need to do more with this lettuce. We need to substitute it for something more adaptogenic. Yeah, maybe try something more exotic in there, maybe some comfrey, maybe some proper herbal remedies. Comfrey would be good, a little turmeric, maybe go all out, go a little bit of ginger or something, just spice it up a little bit, not this flaccid stuff that you just got sitting in there. Meanwhile, the bread is overall fine, the exterior, perhaps something to be admired in and of itself. You're keeping up a very good act, a very impressive act. But this is going to turn in a day or so, It's going to get all bitty. It's going to get all bitty and gross. It's just not going to hold up. We need to fill you. That is what this thing is saying to me. We need to fill you with more vitality, exuberance in yourself. It's not enough just to be strong. You can't just be strong. You can't just go seeking strength. You've really got to have the enthusiasm, a reason for doing it, a solid soul to make strong. Yeah. So, I'm going to refer you to someone that I know quite well. Maybe they can do something for you. Maybe they can help you in some way raise the energy levels. But in the meantime, this has been Report of Your Sleep, signing off.